to the Market to Shelf Mastery podcast, where we talk to food and drink founders and persons of influence about their journey from market stall onto retail shelf. Today, I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by Rosie Bulwer from Botivo Drinks, who is responsible for all things sales and marketing. So welcome, Rosie, and thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. I'm very excited to be here, Lisa.
So tell us a bit about how long have you been with Botivo?
So I've been with Botivo for a year now. It's quite a funny story as to how it kind of came about. Fresh out of uni, looking for a job, and my mum went to this farming festival, quite a popular one, Groundswell. And Groundswell is actually based on Lannick Farm, where Botivo is made. And she was just like browsing around and came across the Botivo stand, gave it a try, and became like absolutely obsessed with it. I think she bought like 2 bottles there and then brought that home. And as I was looking for jobs, because I really wanted to do something in kind of the food and drink industry, obviously the branding of the bottle immediately caught my attention. I was like, what is that? Like, what have you brought back from this farming festival? And then I tried it and I absolutely loved it. And then just found the hello at Botivo Drinks email and reached out asking if they had any internships available in like sales and marketing. And, you know, I do think I was super, super lucky because clearly they were just looking for interns around that time. And Emma got back to me, and then I had a call with Emma, and I was so like passionate and set on getting this internship that I did do a little deck as well.
I love that.
Yeah, which was great. Just a bit on like why I love Botivo, and a bit just about the brand and a bit about me, and hopefully what I could bring to the table with, you know, little experience but a lot of energy. And yeah, so that's then how I came to be an intern at Botivo. And then so I started in Jan, and then in March I went full time.
Wow. Well, this is going to be good because you already have the makings of a fantastic salesperson from that pitch that you pulled together to get you the job at Botivo, which clearly worked because you're a year and a bit in and you're still there loving it. So had your degree been in sales and marketing?
Yeah, no, actually, I did do like at school I did like business, but my degree was like the most random degree ever. I did media and communications, which to be fair, some of it did cover a little bit of marketing, but I also then combined this with philosophy, which was completely different. But then I don't know, it was all still, I don't regret studying them. It was all still great. Great exposure to different things. I guess philosophy was good for critical thinking and bits like that. So I don't know, maybe they all kind of somehow help in some way.
Absolutely. It's all about relationship building, isn't it? And connecting with people in the right way. So it's got to have been a great grounding for you, obviously.
Yeah, I know.
And you said that you were keen to work in the food and drink industry. Was there any particular reason for that?
Yeah, God, that's a great question. I guess my first, like one of my first jobs in like when it was school holidays was working at this food distributor called Crush and I'm originally from Norfolk, which is like down by the coast. And yeah, they were looking for someone to help pack their granola, and their like production place was about like a 15-minute cycle from me. So I'd go there and pack some granola. And I also did the rapeseed oil, which was really fun, very messy though. But so I guess maybe from there on, it kind of, I don't know, triggered. And then I worked in like some pubs and restaurants nearby, and I really enjoyed that. And then yeah, I guess that is kind of how it naturally segued into the industry. Now I think about it.
Well, absolutely. It's sounding like this is a very natural progression from where you started, and obviously a clear demonstration of the importance of, transferable skills and understanding how what you do in a younger life can actually help you as you start to move forward in your career. So I think it's fantastic. So tell us a bit about Botivo. So you mentioned the bottle. You mentioned that it's a drink. You mentioned that it's made on Lanark Farm. So what is it?
Yes. Sorry, let's get into Botivo.
Yeah.
So Botivo, just as the general description, is a bittersweet botanical aperitivo, a non-alcoholic bittersweet botanical aperitivo. So we have two SKUs, the bottle, which is like the hero product, which is what's been made from the start. And then more recently, last year, we also launched cans, which is Botivo mixed with soda, our signature serve. But anyway, going back to the story of Botivo.
Yeah.
So
the bottle that caught your eye that led you to go to where you are now.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a really cool story behind Botivo. Sam, our co-founder, he has a business, a cocktail making business called Rum Runner. And he did the events for quite like highbrow clients like Kate Moss, Calvin Harris, did the royal wedding. And I know.
Oh my goodness, I never realized.
Yeah, well, it's crazy. I didn't even realize that until like I did a deeper dive in the research and I'd already applied for the job. And then, when you're just like discovering even more exciting, fun things. And yeah, it's funny because now when you're in it, you just hear about it all the time. But I don't know, it's something we need to keep on shouting about. Anyway, so he did the drinks for these parties, and at these events, like a lot of people were saying, can I have something that isn't just like a Coke or something that's a little bit more sophisticated but non-alc. So Sam kind of realized there was a bit of a gap in this industry, and so created Botivo, which he then just served at these events. And kind of after the 100th person came up to him being like, where can I buy this? It's absolutely delicious. Yeah. He decided to, take things a little bit more seriously and bottle it. And actually then COVID happened. So then he just spent time in his kitchen. Like he always says, like his partner, Alice, must have been so sick of the smell of Botivo because apparently it was just like a little bit of a lab in their kitchen. And perfected the recipe and then like built up the brand, the kind of main sales strategy that they went down, which is like a really interesting one and apparently a bit unusual. He targeted, I have not even mentioned Emma, the co-founder as well. So Emma then tried this as a consumer, and Emma herself, like she's got a whole other amazing background story to her. So she worked for brands like Grey Goose, Nike, Adidas, Diageo, did the branding for all these like, top dogs, and tried Botivo. And she's also not someone who would be kind of put in this non-out category usually. She's like, like a hedonist, loves kind of just like appreciates delicious food and drink, but isn't just that interested in moderating and non-out drinks. So she tried Botivo with one of her friends and instantly was just like, wow, this is the best thing I've ever tasted. Fast forward to some like, they were at like a wedding or something. And I want to say it was in Mexico, like crazy. And she met Sam and immediately was like, oh my gosh, I've been looking for you. And then that night went back, wrote this whole deck because Emma's like deck mind is incredible. That also is a big kind of driving force behind getting all these amazing listings, which I'll come on to later. So wrote up a deck for being Sam's co-founder, quit her job in branding. And they've kind of been a little bit of a power couple since. And so then when Emma came on, rebranded the bottle because it used to be kind of had a different, more like a softer label with like kind of botanicals coming out of it, and it still had the yellow wax top lid, which we've kept because it's like that craft artisan feel to it. But yeah, Emma then got an illustrator who is amazing and designed all these characters on the label. And actually, funny story, the characters on the label are all friends of Sam and Emma's, so there's like this real sense of like community and story behind it. And actually, like on the bottle as well, it's very like inclusive. You've got everyone from like different ages, races, genders. Everyone's just there having a good time, having a party, in celebration of this beautiful drink.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's
well, if that's not a sign from the universe, I don't know what is, in terms of how they came together and then how they moved together as co-founders. I mean, that's absolutely an incredible story.
Yeah.
But let's rein it back into you. So obviously you mentioned that the job at Botivo came about because you sent an email.
Yes.
And then when you got the response back, you then went on to prepare a bit of a about me, let me sell myself style deck. So tell me first, if you can remember that outreach email, which I'm sure will form part of our conversation as we move forward. Do you remember what you put in that email?
Yes, I mean, I feel like I tried to keep it short and sweet, but probably made it like ridiculously long and detailed. So like, but what did I put in there? I think I started off by saying, but they probably get this all the time, that I just genuinely was a massive fan of the drink, and that I just, although like I had a little bit of experience in like other areas, I said like, yeah, in terms of, I don't know, God, you're actually really testing my memory. I feel like with my cover letters to jobs, I've never looked back at them, because like sometimes you're like
a bit cringe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, cringe, and everyone actually makes a bit of a joke about it at the beginning, saying that they all sat around and read my cover letter and they were all like, oh God, she's a bit keen, like. So
yeah, but it worked.
Exactly.
And it sounds like you were very humble in what you, that I'm hearing that the tone was actually very genuine and very I genuinely love this product, and here is proof, the story of your mum at Lanark Farm.
Yeah.
And actually that's probably one of the reasons why they stopped and took notice, because you were so sincere in the words that you were writing.
Well, that is very nice.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully that was communicated across. And then it was just, so then when I got the reply from Emma, I just thought, oh my gosh, this is huge.
And did they reply after one email attempt? So did you send one email that was then replied to?
Yes, which I found, I know, because I know that's like,
you're a machine, Rosie.
No, I mean, again, like I feel like, it must have just popped up at the right time, like maybe they were speaking about it. But yeah, so sent that email in, and then Emma just, quickly replied. It's also so funny now being on the other end of it, because I work on the customer service, like, and just a general hello at inbox, and like we do get CVs through, and actually the ones that are really like, you can tell the ones that have been AI written and like all of that, and actually the shorter the better, like, genuinely, like when a real person is coming through the email, that's when you're like, yeah. And also obviously they've got to have like this enthusiasm around the brand, and
shorter the better is very good advice, actually.
It really is. And I'm learning that, because I am not usually a shorter the better person. I feel like I blurt out so much detail, but yeah, definitely from being on the other side, I'm learning that. But back to your question, sorry. Yeah, so then Emma replied, and then we set up a call. I think she was actually ill, so we had to rearrange. And then like I went away and I listened to a couple of podcasts. and made some notes from that. And honestly, when I was listening to the podcast, like it just made me want to like work for the brand like even more, because I was like discovering new things myself, like naively just being like, yeah, I like the taste and the branding. And then like the more I was listening and learning more about the company, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is a really cool place. Well, not a cool place, just sorry, like just a great
I know
brand.
what you mean. I know what you
Yeah,
mean.
I know I struggle with describing things sometimes. Um, but yeah, so then I went away, listened to the podcast, created a deck based on kind of the key points that I felt really like shone through. And when Emma and Sam were speaking about Botivo, and like honed in on those points. And then I also created a couple of, because at the time it was like slightly a bit more for marketing. So I created a couple of like campaign ideas. This idea, well, one of the things that really stuck with me, which Emma mentions, which I think is just such a good way to like sum up the storytelling of the brand, is like, even though Botivo's a non-alcoholic drink, it's not a sober brand. So the whole idea that, you know, there's just like this huge inclusivity behind the brand, that like you can bring Botivo to someone's house and it's just on the table, and you know, some people are putting it in their gin and tonic, some people are just having it with soda, and everyone's just like sat around this table having a fun time and just drinking a yummy drink. And I like that kind of storyline really stuck with me, so I included that and kind of centered the presentation a bit around that. And yeah, and she liked it.
Wow, yeah, obviously, because got you the job. So, well, so fast forward
Yeah.
to a year and a bit. So you've now been a year and a bit at Botivo in your current role, which I'm sure has probably changed a bit since you first started. Um, Looking back on that time, do you remember the first customer that you got over the line?
Yes, yeah, very.
Tell us, tell us, tell us.
um yeah, so actually, like as I mentioned, I was originally kind of doing more marketing, and then we someone who helped us out freelance and off trade left, so then I was doing a bit more like off trade sales. And I was in Chiswick, and I went into this lovely kind of like organic like deli fruit and veg shop. And honestly, this is me just like they were, honestly, they're so great, because they just really were like, you know, just go in, get a feel for it. Like I you know, I'm still learning so much now, and like the team around me is like, I feel very lucky to be surrounded by so many experienced professionals in like the sales industry, and for letting them entrust me with you know, going after accounts. And so yeah, I kind of went in there. By no means was I like a natural, but spoke to the store owner Mel, who was super lovely, and she said, oh yeah, like this could be of interest, but it wasn't like an immediate yes. It was actually like such a slow, I was literally like, I think I want to say like 2 months down the line after me speaking to her, because at the time I was actually mostly doing account management, but I would sometimes pop into some potential like new accounts and just give it a go. But, you know, just like slowly moving into the sales role. So wanting to just have conversations with existing customers. And anyway, so that was like probably though like the most, the account that showed the most interest. So then it was just me, like, I think I went in like another time, spoke to her, I think spoke to her son as well, who was super lovely, just like kind of building a nice relationship, because they didn't want to come across as this really intense person, but at the same time, you know, like I'm young and I'm learning, and I obviously really want to get a sale. And anyway, like 2 months down the line, she kept on saying, yeah, I'll sign the form, like no problem. And then it was just like such a long time coming, and our form that we actually had, this was like quite a big drawback to like sometimes winning accounts, was just getting them to sign the form, because
Like an onboarding form or a new
yeah,
customer sign up form, that type of thing.
new customer sign up form. And I kind of expressed that I was having difficulty with this to one of my colleagues, and he mentioned that in his last job they had this like type form thing, which is like this AI powered form which you can connect with Zapier and like Word, and then like integrate it all together and create this like type form. And I was just there like, right, well, that sounds like a lot of work to create. And I am by no means an AI guru, but after like I want to say it took me like 5 hours, managed to create this type form, and then I sent that through to Mel, and then it was just so much easier. And like, yeah, from then on, like getting, because at the beginning with Off Trade, we only had customers could only order us direct. We weren't with any wholesalers, so it was really like essential just getting a really like user friendly form. And so yeah, that was great. And then she signed it, and I remember it so clearly. I was like in a cafe, and I rung my manager up at the time and was just like, oh my god, like honestly,
Yay! Look what I did.
yeah, it was yeah, it was a great feeling. And yeah, and now I still like pop in, and they're so lovely, and so it's nice having that relationship with them, and not too far away from where I live as well. So
well, amazing that you spotted a barrier to entry, essentially. So this form was posing a bit of a problem, and you found a way around it. And so glad that you did, because it sounds like once you'd done that, it was much easier for them to say yes and sign on the dotted line.
definitely, yeah, it was because it's now like a click through, and like thankfully not well, yeah, we don't now do as much direct. It's usually through like wholesalers now, which just makes things a lot easier because they can just order it like that if they already have an account, and then to set up an account is easy. But yeah, it definitely was a bit of a barrier because on trade they have lots of wholesalers and distributors already, whereas off trade not so much. And yeah, it just became so easy because you could actually fill it in for them there. So I just like would fill in their address, click through, and then my manager was like, they don't even need to fill it in, you just need to ask for their, the right information, then they can send it over to you. Because what I'm obviously like, if I was a store owner, like I could imagine that kind of the last thing you want to do is sit down and just like spend like even 5 minutes. It's just like such a long time to spend on like signing a form. So just making this as easy for them as possible, yeah, definitely helped.
Well, that's the key, isn't it? Make it as easy as you possibly can, so that all they can do is say yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So you walked in.
Yeah, walked in
unannounced, no appointment. They
no.
didn't know you. You
Yeah,
didn't know them.
yeah.
What was that? What did you have to give yourself a little pep talk on the doorstep, or were you like, no, striding in, I've got this? What was happening? Like, what was going through your head?
Yeah, that's really fun, like going back to that time. I feel like, well, I just like popped into an existing stockist, and they were super friendly and lovely, and I think that genuinely gave me like just a good buzz feeling. And then yeah, I definitely though have like waited outside shops and been like, okay, right, what's my pitch, like looking at it, and then it slowly becomes more natural. But I mean, definitely at this point it wasn't like natural, but I think I had like a bit of confidence on my side that day. And so yeah, went in and just asked for the store owner. Actually, no, she was the first person I spoke to, so it was kind of immediately like off the bat, but like knowing, and luckily she wasn't like serving anyone at the time, because obviously they wouldn't want to interrupt her when like there's an actual customer trying to buy some yummy bits. And yeah, I just said to her, I work for this drinks brand called Botivo. It's non-alcoholic. And then I kind of like list the key USP bits, but I understand well, what I can imagine is like, you as a store owner, you just want to know, like, is this product going to sell? Like, is it going to, like, obviously they're a nice person, but like at the end of the day, it's your shop, and like you just want to like get the stuff which your customers are actually going to want and buy, rather than just like, but also it does look pretty on shelves. So, you know, I sometimes think like maybe like for like the more like gift stores that we're in, like Botivo, in that sense, it just works really well. Like it just,
Absolutely.
and I think for some of our customers, that is a good selling point. And then I kind of just mentioned some like key data in terms of our like rate of sale and our top stockists. And then like a really great thing, which I always tend to note when going into stores similar to Lemon and Limes, is that Botivo's the best selling non-alcoholic spirit in Whole Foods across the alcoholic and non-alcoholic category. So I'm just giving that like slight bit of reassurance.
Names dropping.
Yeah, exactly.
Or as we call that properly, proof of concept.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, exactly. But I had a nice conversation with her first before immediately just like going.
And was this all spoken, or did you have a sample with you? Did you have like anything to show by way of like,
Yes.
I don't know, on an iPad or on a old school piece of paper? Like, what were the tools that you had with you?
Yeah, so I had a bottle of Botivo, so I just showed her the physical bottle, because at the time we were only doing bottles, not cans. And then I didn't have a mini bottle sample on me. So I kind of, and like now looking back, like one of my learnings was like, I'd probably just carry a sample on me. But yeah, so I said, this is the bottle, would you be interested? Like, happy to send you a sample. And then went back, sent the sample. I think that was also the delayed thing. So like me following up with the sample, did you get it? Like getting a response, yes. Oh, like, have you had a chance to try it? Not yet. And then, you know, because obviously they're busy and like which is like completely fair. And so yeah, just like being patient and waiting for the right time. And then yeah, finally she was like, we did try it and actually we loved it. And so, you know, it's really nice when you just get like great feedback like that, and that also gives you like the rocket fuel to then keep on going for like the final bit of it. And yeah, and then, you know, eventually account form, sorted that out, got that signed. And yeah, I think it was just a nice like 2 case order for the first one.
Lovely.
And yeah, her son actually messaged me because he's got my number, being like, we need more cases. And so it's great to hear that it's well.
And was your follow-up via email, or did you get brave and pick up the phone, or was it through direct messages? What did the follow-up process look like?
Yeah, so I didn't have a number at the time. So actually, well, I went in person again. I think after she had tried it, just to like kind of suss out the vibe in terms of like what's, you know, like, you know, maybe she's busy and she hasn't had time to look over the account form, or this and this and this. And I don't think she was actually in. So then I went like back another time, just because it's also around the corner from me. So like it was really easy to do so. And it was never like in a like really intense pressurizing way, just in a like, let me help you. And so yeah, most of it was actually email or in person. And to be fair, that, you know, she was pretty responsive over email, so that was kind of the best kind of communication.
Yeah, I think you get a feel for it, don't you? Like if the response is coming in a certain way, keep that up. Because, you know, people like to communicate in all different ways, don't they? And I think you learn over time what they're going to respond best to. So you have to match sort of their preferred style of communication, I guess. So what happened next? So you said that gave you a boost in confidence. So what happened next? Like, did that spur you on then to go out and acquire more, or did it change the way that you went about things? You know, what did that first win do for you personally to move you forward?
I guess it was because it got to the point where, like, at the beginning of doing sales, I was just thinking, God, this is really difficult. Like, I just can't seem to get anything, like, not even a nibble. And then, like, I think and it wasn't, I mean, even from that one, it wasn't just like smooth sailing from then onwards. I was very much like learning, and you know, I'm still am like, and will be like forever. But yeah, it definitely just gave me that slight sense of, oh, okay, like once they've done this and then they do this, and like there's that, like just seeing the process like
Yeah.
me. And then kind of, yeah, just, I don't know, like from support from the team, and then like it gives you a slight like, you know, yeah, a boost of energy and like a hunger to keep going out there and getting, yeah, it stocked in more places. But in short, in a summary to your point, I then started looking at like similar accounts to Lemon and Limes. I then like also thought like in terms of farm shops. We weren't in many farm shops, so I actually looked outside of London, and yeah, I know. And then so I'd say like my next big win, which actually, like, truth be told, I did have someone who knew someone at this place. So like I filled in the buyer form, but it was Westmoreland
Oh
Services,
wow, yeah.
which was great. And still, like, you know, obviously it's really useful when you can get someone to like ask someone who's in that area to put in a good word, but it does come down to the product. So like, and it also
Yeah.
helps
I
Botivo.
think that's so important, isn't it? It's that it
Yeah,
doesn't matter who you know and how big your network is. If the product is not right for them, they're not going to say yes just because they like you as a person. I think that's a really good point.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, Botivo as a product obviously is a great product to sell as well, because it's doing really well. So like that definitely helps make my life a bit easier. And yeah, so then I sent over the samples, and this was actually such a long process as well, and a real like taking over. Like I just remember like the email thread being so long, and I did kind of push for a call, but I think they just want to keep it more streamlined in one communication channel, which I completely get as well. And like when you're super busy, and you know, if you're on the buying team, you're probably getting like loads of brands constantly reaching out, asking if they can get stocked with them. So yeah, but sent through a package. What one great thing about Botivo is we have so much merch. So I'm trying to find, I'll just show you. Botivo socks.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love the
Have you
merch.
got a pair?
I haven't, but I
Oh my
want a
God.
pair.
Okay, well, sorry.
Yeah, we need to sort that out. Note to
And
self, get Lisa socks.
absolutely. Okay, yeah, note to self. And so little things like that, I do think help make the brand memorable too. And so I sent them a bottle.
Demonstrates its personality as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's great in the on trade as well for like the chefs and like everyone working in the kitchen and like the front of house and everyone there. So like when you walk into like a pub or a restaurant, they're like, oh, Botivo, and they just lift up their trousers.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. It's like,
Yeah.
don't underestimate the power of the pen. I remember this where in a previous life when I worked for Mars, and we used to have loads of merch, and we totally took it for granted because we were so used to it. And then we'd go and do an event, you know, like at one of our big retailers in their head office, and everyone was just, they weren't interested in the product. Have you got any pens? Have you got any notebooks? Have you got any, you know, post-it notes or whatever the thing was at the time? It's like, yeah.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm a sucker for merch. I would have been all
Same,
those
same.
um,
Oh, well, a couple of things from that. One is don't be afraid to use your network if you need to, because you've worked hard to build that. So asking someone to put in a good word for you is not a cheat. It's a smart move in terms of leveraging your contacts. And it sounds to me as well like that first win gave you your process then, which you could go on and replicate to win other customers.
yeah, definitely. It just made you think, right, okay, like it's not as impossible as you thought. And yeah, it definitely helped. And like something then like Westmoreland was like a great one for confidence as well. And I had obviously like my team around me, so I'd ask them questions the whole time, and they were super like helpful and supportive. And then it was like a case of filling out these supplier forms and stuff like that. So there was like, you know, it was always like so close but not there yet. And like also keeping it, like my manager Alex, he always says, you know, it's like so hard to keep in, like, you know, when
absolutely,
he's like, how's that going with so and so, and you're like, not there yet, rather than being like, yeah, it's there, because like the worst thing is just getting your hopes up and being like, yeah, it's a done deal. So I literally was, until all forms were signed and they literally said we've got the first order in, that's when I was like, oh my god, yes. And it was a real like team effort as well, because like these forms was all this like operational stuff behind it, so we had like everyone like kind of chipping in different areas, and like getting all the like nutritional information down. So yeah, I feel like everyone was involved in securing this deal, which was a great feeling then.
So did you take a moment to celebrate? So did you mark that occasion, or did you just go, done, next?
Yes. God, yeah. I actually feel like I could have celebrated a bit more. I think I was, because when they're so like ongoing and long, I think you're just like, okay, like that's great. And then you have like a moment and then you're like, okay, next. Because also like everyone around you is working so hard. So you're just like, I want to, you know, I feel like obviously it's nice to have, and they do say this as well all the time, saying, you know, it's, you've really got to enjoy the wins and like soak it up.
Definitely.
I feel like, I did soak it up a bit, but now like reflecting, I feel like I'm soaking it up more and just like in general. But yeah.
Right, I've got a couple of questions before we wrap up. So one, which, well, you've shared so much information, which I know is going to help people listening. So you mentioned that you did a degree, not specifically in sales or marketing. You did have experience, although as far as you're concerned, not in the traditional sense.
No.
So what would you say? So somebody, so let's say out of university, who wants to land a role in sales and marketing, like what could you say to them? Like what should they do to move them along?
I mean, it sounds like so but genuinely just like going for it, like kind of, I think I was so worried about being cringe and like just going down the traditional route of like cover letter, CV. And I know like people say this quite a bit already, but genuinely putting in that extra little, you know, bit of fairy dust or whatever you want to call it, just like goes miles. Like I had no experience in marketing, no experience in sales, and also not being afraid to be like, oh god, like this looks pretty bad, because genuinely the efforts there, like that is very recognized. Like my deck for Imma, it was I downloaded Canva, this design app. Like all my, like some of my friends had used it in like previous jobs, and I had like no idea how to work it, even though it is quite a user-friendly app, they say, but still I'm like, oh god, like I don't know how to do that. But so downloaded that, got the free trial pro, and then like cancelled it, but used a free pro trial to kind of like, as creatively as I could, create this deck. And then like in terms of sales, just genuinely, as long as you're enthusiastic and like enjoy talking to people and just have that like sense of like go for it. And also like I'm definitely, you know, I'm not 24/7 like enthusiastic person. Like I think it's a genuine sense of just being like real, like at the end of the
day
it's a lot interested, and it's a lot of like people to people conversations. Like, you know, I don't think you need to be an A-star student to get there, because by no means was I. And sorry, that's like quite a wish.
No, I get it. So you're saying add your extra layer of sparkle, which you did extra layer upon extra layer. So not only did you reach out, create a deck, you then went away and researched as well. So that's what you're getting at, isn't it? It's like, actually do your homework, give them a reason to say yes, and show your personality. You know, like, this is a people-led business, isn't it? You know, it's people building relationships with people, not machines. So I think
and having like that self-doubt in your mind, like, you know, so many, like, for example, a brand like Mars, you'd be like, wow, that's just an incredible brand, like I just would never like even be considered for that. Like, you would be, you know,
of course you would.
if you like,
they'd be lucky to have you, Rosie. They'd be lucky to have you.
Thanks. Well, obviously they've had you there already, but like, yeah, I do just think it's, just like you said, like doing the research, going away, like really thinking, how can I add value to the company and just like show that I'm really all for it, like particularly in like the startup world. From what I'm learning from being in it is that like flexibility is so like key, and also just like a lot of like determination and like tenacity, like we can get the job done. And honestly, like the amount of like random situations you find yourself in where you're like, I never thought I would have to think on my feet so much for like figuring out how to get like 1,000 dried cherries packed and like what packaging size and string. And genuinely though, like I can't take credit for that, it was such a team effort, but like it's just so funny the scenarios you find yourself in, like from coming out of uni and like a school system and just being taught like these essay like kind of just being so like put in that sense, and then coming into the working world, it is so different. And like, don't underestimate how valuable just like being so like self-sufficient is. I mean, I'm definitely still learning that as well, but just like thinking on your feet, being, you know, like little things that you think most people just already know the answer to, like it doesn't necessarily come naturally to them. So like, even if you're not book smart, like being street smart goes a long way.
Oh, Rosie, I love that. Be street smart, not book smart. Oh, that we've got to like claim that. It's absolutely brilliant.
Put that on
the okay, so we never know who's listening.
Yes.
Without revealing anything that could be deemed top secret,
mm-hmm.
Who do you really want to land? Like, who is going to make you, you know, run around the office? Like streamers, glasses of Botivo all round. Who is it? Who is your number one on your wish list?
Oh, wow. I mean, after the Farm Shop in Delhi conference where I saw you at, there were so many like great customers that I spoke to where I was just like, well, that would just be a dream if we got stock there. So also, just on a complete side note, in terms of celebrating, in terms of a company, like Imra and Sam are so great. Like they do take us out and have like big celebrations. Like went down Hackney Wick, we've done like fun like rounders games. Just felt like I had to say we do celebrate our wins. Like when
definitely. I've seen it.
Yes, it's great company culture. But yeah, going back to that question.
Don't deflect the question.
I'd rather keep that to myself.
A politician's answer.
There's like, so after the Farm Shop in Delhi, we did, and we have been in conversations with them before, but it kind of went cold. But it would be so cool. So like, a previous colleague of mine was actually like had already started the conversation up, and then it just like slowly flatlined. But then I met one of the buyers from Booths, which would be obviously insane, getting like the bottle sold on shelf in like all the Booth sites would be unreal. And would love to get in there. So I met a different buyer, and I've got his email. And this week I've actually been tweaking the Boost deck that we originally sent over like last year, and just trying to update it with kind of recent wins and I don't know, making it even more tailored, like what Booths and Botivo have in common, like really like honing in on that rather than just speaking about the brand as a whole, thinking like really thinking in the Booths buyer's mind, like, which is something that Em always tells us, like, what can we do for them?
Yeah, absolutely.
We work together rather than just saying we're this and this and this. And I think we'd sell well with you, like really integrating the two.
I think you're very aligned. They're very personality driven as well. So I think, I think it's a match made in heaven. And I am confident that you are going to pull it off. So we're sending a message to the universe. If there's anyone listening from Booths supermarkets, the Waitrose of the North, I don't know if they still say that, you need to get in touch with Rosie.
Yeah, please, everyone. Please.
Thank you so much for joining me today. You've been absolutely fantastic. You're a little superstar, you really are. And Botivo are so lucky to have you as part of the team. Your enthusiasm is infectious, and I think you've got a bright future ahead of you, Rosie.
Oh no!
We're going to put some links to find you on LinkedIn or in the show notes, and also where you can find out more about Botivo, which is a really awesome brand that Rosie is really proud to fly the flag for. So thank you so much for joining me today on Market Shelf Mastery. It's been an absolute joy to have you.
Thanks, Lisa.
This has been a Monkey Pants Productions podcast.